Okay, we finished with demand, and now we want to move into the next area of topic called supply. Supply is a schedule, just like our demand was a schedule. Supply is a schedule that shows the various amounts of a product that you will bring to market. You are now the producer, that you will bring to market at each price in a series of prices over time. In other words, if people are willing to pay you $5 for your good, you will bring 60 units to market. If people are only going to pay you $4 for your good, then you're only going to bring 50 units to market. As the price increases, there's an incentive for you to produce more. But as you do produce more, your costs go up. And that's something that you will cover later when you're in microeconomics, or if you're already in microeconomics later on in this course. In order for us to see the relationship between price and quantity supplied, we're going to take a picture of it. And that same picture is going to be the graph. And again, with the graph, I have my quantity demanded, or excuse me, my quantity supplied on my horizontal axis, and I have my price on my vertical axis. This convention must hold true. You cannot change that. If the price is $1, I will bring 5 units to market. If the price is $2, I will bring 20 units to market. If the price is $3, I will bring 35 to market. So therefore, my supply curve, unlike my demand curve, is upward sloping, meaning that it starts in Texas and ends in Maine. And therefore, it slopes upwards for what we call the law of supply. The law of supply states that there is a direct or positive relationship between price and quantity supplied. In other words, they move in tandem, they move together. If the price of a good goes up in the marketplace, then as a producer, I want to benefit from that, take advantage of that, and I want to bring more to market. So they either move together or they go down together. Unlike the law of supply, where I had 3 reasons for the downward sloping curve, the law of supply states that I only have 1 reason for the upward sloping curve. And that reason is profit. The more I can sell you at a higher price, the more profit I make. And that is what drives the producer, profit. In a market system, profit is what drives the supplier to supply more goods and services. Just as supply, or just as when we had demand, a change in price will cause a change in my quantity supplied, Q sub S, my quantity supplied. In other words, if people are willing to pay me $2 for my good instead of $1, it is a movement along my existing supply curve. If now the price of the good that I produce goes up to $2, therefore it is a movement from this price quantity supplied combination to this price quantity supplied combination. And therefore it is simply a move from this point A, to point B, and we call this a change in quantity supply. However, like demand, it doesn't, ceteris paribus, everything else being equal. Like demand, not everything else is equal. And therefore, there are things unrelated to price, totally unrelated price, keeping price the same, that even though the price of the good is $5, I may decide to bring 70 to market. At $4, I may decide to bring 60, $3.35, $50, $2.35, and $1.20. So at $1, I'm now bringing 20, $2.35, $3.55, $4.60, and $5.70. And in this case, my supply curve is actually moved to the right away from zero, and we say that my supply curve has changed. Again, these are areas these are what we call non-price determinants. Things that cause supply to change not determined by price, because we know that a change in price is going to change my quantity supplied. A change in a non-price determinant will change my supply, actually move it up. And in this case, what you can see is that my supply schedule now has completely changed. What will cause my supply curve to either increase, move to the right, or decrease we'll call this S double prime, moving it closer to zero, is a change in technology. Technology means that I can produce something more of a product at a cheaper price. And therefore, if I have a change in technology, my supply curve will go up. The number of sellers, all of a sudden there are more people out there supplying cell phones to the market. Therefore, the supply of cell phones goes up. Taxes and subsidies. A tax is a payment that you give them to produce a particular good or service. If you are taxed, your profits go down, and therefore your supply curve will move to the left. A subsidy is when the government gives you money to produce, or in some cases not to produce a particular good. And if that in fact happens, a subsidy, you would increase your supply of the particular good. Change in resource pricing. If the price of labor goes up relative to other goods and services, your supply would change. Expectations. You expect for some reason on Saturday that people are willing to pay you $10 more for your good. You'll wait till Saturday to supply that to the market. Why? Because you want to take advantage of the $10 increase in the price. And finally, price of related goods. So all of these 6 areas here will in fact increase or decrease my supply given whatever condition you're talking about.